We all wish we had a time machine so we could go back and not make the mistakes we did. While time is capable of a lot, unfortunately, going back isn't an option yet. Time is something that affects us all, but there's so little we know about it. It's something physicists have been spending years trying to figure out. In this video, we'll be going over 10 crazy facts about time that you probably haven't heard of before. The fourth dimension. We've all heard of 2D and 3D. 4D is something that's not as easy to comprehend. Time is often referred to as the fourth dimension, alongside length, width, and height. This means that time is a dimension that we move through, just like we move through space. While we can't touch or hold time, we can still measure it, and that's why it is considered to be reality's fourth dimension. Time cannot be seen or touched, but it has a profound impact on our lives and the world around us. A missed train is what started time zones. You'd be surprised to know that time zones were a concept that was created by accident. They were established to help people coordinate their schedules and avoid confusion. However, what started the concept was a missed train in the 19th century. Trains were becoming more popular and travelers needed a way to coordinate their schedules. One day, a train was late because the schedules were based on local time, which varied from place to place. This caused a chain reaction and the train missed its connecting train. It was then that the idea of time zones was born. Time zones in the railway. Once again, the railway has a lot to do with how standardized time was established. Trains needed to run on time to avoid delays, so the railways established a standardized time to help them coordinate schedules. This helped to make travel more efficient, and eventually standardized time was adopted by countries all over the world. Even in the 19th century, people were using solar time to synchronize closed, which meant that it wasn't always reliable. The English Railway started to use London time as the standard schedule for trains throughout the country in 1940. The US and Canadian companies followed suit in 1883, which effectively created standardized time zones. The GMT was only established in the 17th century. The GMT system, which we follow now, was established much earlier. The Greenwich Mean Time, or GMT, was established in the 17th century. GMT is the time standard used by most countries in the world and is based on the time of the Royal Observatory in Greenwich, London. Before this, different countries used different time standards, which made it difficult to coordinate schedules. The faster you move, the slower the time. Remember when time went by much faster out in space in the movie Interstellar? Well, that isn't far from how time works in reality. This may sound strange, but it's a proven scientific fact. According to Einstein's theory of special relativity, time slows down as you move faster. This means that if you were traveling in a spaceship at the speed of light, time would seem to slow down for you compared to people on Earth. History is longer than you think. You might feel like time has been going on forever, but that isn't too far from the truth. History is a lot longer than most people think. The history of the universe is estimated to be around a whopping 13.8 billion years, while the history of the human civilization is just a tiny fraction of that, around 10,000 years. This means that there's a lot more to learn about the history of our world and our universe. If you think your mistakes will last forever, statistically, you're just a blip in the unending expanse of time. Time is subjective. There's no one way to perceive time. What may seem like seconds to you can feel like hours to someone else. Time is subjective, which means that it's experienced differently by different people. For example, time can seem to slow down or speed up depending on our experiences and emotions. The science of horology. Horology is the science of measuring time, and it's a fascinating field. Horologists study the mechanics of timepieces, such as clocks and watches, and use their knowledge to create accurate timepieces. This field has a rich history, with some of the earliest timepieces dating back thousands of years. No one lives in the present. We've been told to live in the present, but really there's no such thing as the present. It's a common misconception that we live in the present, but the truth is we're always living in the past or the future. This is because our minds are constantly thinking about what has just happened and not what is currently happening. China has just one time zone. You're wondering how that's possible considering China is so huge. Despite having a landmass stretched across 5 time zones, for political reasons, the Chinese government has chosen to stick to one time zone. The entire country has set its clocks accordingly to that of Beijing. Thank you as always for watching, and we hope that you learned something new today. Please like and subscribe for more, and leave a comment down below for anything that you would like to see in the future.